Hello again, this is Jerry. Just an old guy doing a review. So, this has made it into a few of my videos already, and I appreciate everyone who has viewed my videos and made comments. I've enjoyed talking to all of you. This has been a little bit of a working project for a few months. And I'll tell everyone right off the bat, this is probably the most expensive 1/14 scale RC four-wheel drive JS models vehicle you will buy. They list these around $2,000, which most people, why would you even spend that kind of money? Well, prior to this whole thing going on right now, I had a little money saved up for some projects I wanted to do. Well, needless to say, I blew them all on this. Now, I have a few RC four-wheel drive vehicles. I've bought them from RC four-wheel drive. I will tell you, I bought this one from A-Main. A-Main Hobbies shipped this to my house in Alaska for $17. It was here in less than a week. RC four-wheel drive wanted $2,200, and they wanted $500 in shipping, and the shipping estimate was a week. So needless to say, I'm gonna start looking around for RC four-wheel drive stuff at other locations. But I research everything before I spend a dime on it. This truck, with its detail for what I wanted it for, is almost a deal. Now, I have 3 Tamiya rigs, semis. I've had them for years, one of them for 21 years. I like to drive them off-road, and that may be strange, but I have an acre of a backyard, which is mostly woods. It is an RC course now. I have rock piles, I have small buildings, I have lights, I have trails. I have spent hundreds of dollars trying to get my Tamiya trucks to be able to drive off-road, drive on a dirt road that's made like a real dirt road. I've tried different rear axle greases. The thicker I get, still haven't quite found the numbers. This truck is a 2-speed. It's got locking differentials. It's 8-wheel drive. This truck gets it done. And, you know, not for all of us that want to buy an RC truck, semi truck, to drive it off-road, but I live in Alaska. We have lots of dirt roads, lots of semis that are four-wheel drive, that are lifted up. And with the price of axles and grease and different setups, you'll take a $300, well, they used to be $300. Now I see they're like $500 for a Tamiya kit. And you'll spend another $600-700 trying to get what you want it to do. So this truck, to me, with the scale details, was just, yeah, my funds blown for probably the rest of the year for buying anything else. But I've already had this out and out in the snow. I'm working on a trailer right now. This truck does it. So, enough of me talking. Let me show you some of this beautiful thing. So, these come in handy because I've already pushed them right up off-roading. They're little ladder steps. All these are mounted when you get them. It's a horribly white and gray, straight out of the Volvo truck magazine. So everything has to be removed. You get all these features have to be mounted. You've got lights. You've got all these caps were removable, I'm assuming, so you can run your lights and whatnot. Strangely, though, RC4wd drive seems to have light kits and sound kits for all kinds of stuff, except for this truck, which, if you put a pickup or you put a dump truck bed on it, it's an Armageddon. But in this form, it's just a good old, really heavy-duty truck. Now, you get your generic truck, which looks a lot like a Volvo emblem. So I decided to go with it. I decided with a two-tone paint, not a factory color by any shape. You know, you got a full detail cab. I use all automotive paints. So strangely enough, I have a Honda Platinum Gold and a Ford gray, metallic gray or something of that sort, which it just gives it a little bit of extra definition. You've got dual headlights, you've got marker lights, you got fog lights. I decided to spice up the little lower rack a bit. You've got a pintle hook up front here, which you can pull out your buddy's Tamiya trucks if you have a bunch, or any. I think I've got two. You just swing that big thing around. These little scale details are just incredible. Now, these were all in yellow when it comes, but I took them all off, painted them with a John Deere yellow. You got to take all these steps are all glued on already, or stuck on with some tape. You've got, oh, you got some more of those. Got another step over here. You've got an intake grate or an exhaust grate for air that actually has a real fan in there, which I'm assuming you want to run more wiring, which you don't have room for under this cab, which on the other side there's a clip that actually has a teeth on it that grabs to lock this down, but you got to jiggle and wiggle this side to get this side in. So needless to say, one-handed, I'm probably not going to attempt that. But now you've got, not being as knowledgeable about semi-trucks, I don't know exactly what this air intake setup is. You've got this big tank, which kind of looks like it could be a fuel tank or something of that sort, but that's where your battery goes on the other side, and we'll get around to it. But you got to have your shock blocks. They come already made. Aluminum. Pretty nifty little deal. Got the hooks on them like a real one would, but it holds it in the little storage compartment. You know, your little guy needs to get up. You got some steps. You got your tanks for God knows what. Everything has caps. Solid aluminum. They just drilled it enough to put a cap in it. All aluminum bracketry. You've got aluminum wheel flares. This is actually aluminum, but it sounds like plastic. And this is when you actually have your trailer hooked in, you actually have to pull it like a real fifth wheel, which is pretty neat. With the scale, You've got taillights with all your buckets. You got these buff tires. They look just like the ones on the Overland and the Man. Now this is for a trailer, which they tell you, no trailer exists. So you get a hook for it that goes right in there. You have to use the lever for everything to get it in, to get it out, which I don't know. I don't really like this flopping around. But, excuse me, Bob over at Hobby Concepts just made an RC trailer out of a cross trailer that he cut in half and shortened to make it 1/14 scale, or narrowed, I should say. So I've been thinking about doing that and making a trailer for it. But you've got your cable ties, or your cable drive for your diff locks. You've got your transfer case that separates your power for your front drive shafts and your rear drive shafts. And it's a tiny little thing for a lot of the beef that's going through this. Now, this is where you get into, you've got all aluminum. This is like a cheese grater. It's so fine. You've got, if you really want to do it, they twist and come off. That one doesn't. Oh. So they've got, I can't get that sucker pulled through. They've got a little ends on them that when you pull it, they go right in those little connectors. So all you got to do is rig you up a little connector on your trailer and you can have airlines. And they actually pull quite far, so you wouldn't have to worry about them stretching out for the trailer. And then they just plug right back into there. You've got a spare ladder, because you need a ladder, I guess, I got it wedged in there because I don't want it to fall out when I'm driving. And it clips back in. You've got a little storage bin under here. It doesn't open very hard because far. You've got all kinds of fluid doodads with rubber hoses that run down. You've got handrails. And this thing weighs a ton. I haven't got out the scale yet. Now here's the interesting. Big old metal tank. You pull it, and there's your battery storage. This has got crazy levels on the side, like it's supposed to hold a fluid. Got your stack. These are all tack welded on. I decided, since I had some of these four-wheel drive stickers, RC four-wheel drive stickers, I'd kind of make all my trucks look like they might belong to the same group. You got an air intake. If you look back there, that's where your speaker mounts on the inside. Now, when you get down in here, so for your steering, because you got four-wheel steering, it's all heavy-duty cables. They're not cables, links. It is one beefy animal. But if any of you have the Armageddon, you know what that's like. But like I said, I wanted an off-road semi-truck. And this one's already proven that it does a pretty good job. Oh, one other thing. So you'll notice the fifth wheel. So from the side, here's the fifth wheel, very thin. Now, for the trailer I'm building for this guy, I had to sacrifice my tow dolly I was making. But you'll see the Tamiya one is a lot thicker. So if you're building a trailer for this particular kind of truck, here's a little side view. Here's the pintle I did on this one. And of course it doesn't want to zoom on it. So I had to modify it. Yeah, that's just a crappy picture, but I had to modify it so it's shorter because it would bottom out on the bottom of this pintle, or the fifth wheel. It would bottom out and it would sit above the fifth wheel. So, just a little something I thought I'd share. I still have to obtain some more aluminum to finish the job on this guy, to get this trailer built. But pretty oh, there's the fan. Looks like a computer fan they put in there with a little plug on it. So it'll be interesting if I can get that to blow when I'm driving on dusty trail or something. So that was just my thoughts on this truck for now. I figured I'd do something since it's been sitting around, but see what you guys think about buying something like this. This truck is about 9 inches wide in the rear end. So a standard Tamiya trailer, it will look silly. That's why I'm trying to build a 9-inch front section of a trailer and an 8-inch back section, so it'll be a big, heavy haul trailer. Well, any thoughts and comments? Thanks for watching. Have a good day.